Let's talk a little bit about another interesting way to take street photos with a telephoto lens. Actually, I'm not a great fan of big zooms, and that's not my opinion only. I've heard it from most of the street photographers. Big zooms do not allow you to convey the atmosphere in the frame at 100%. In my view, you must hear and feel the vibrations of the story. Another minus, especially when not aware of this detail, there is excessive blurring of the background in most cases. Alright, but with all those details in mind, as I've already mentioned, there are still times when you want to shoot. The mood to shoot is there. Just the light inside, your fearlessness, they are absent. In other words, your determination is taking a rest. Normal. Human. Then the telephoto lens is there to help. And do not forget that the telephoto lens brings the background closer. You can see how it works in this photo especially. Pay attention to the mountains. This is called aerial perspective in paintings and landscapes. I've already mentioned the blurred background. It's one of the specifics of these telephoto lenses. A minus in one scenario, a plus in another, depends on you. Here, for example, it worked quite fine. This was the effect I needed. In the general case, you may rely on this blur effect when you want to focus on a specific object. This very photo was taken at 400mm f2.8. Here is another example with this telephoto lens, and the result is quite good. So comes another confirmation that you may shoot as you want and what you want. A word on composition. Here is the golden rectangle. Here is the diagonal. And the mood, which adds to the overall emotion. Honestly speaking, I do know this is quite an expensive lens. Absolutely not for everyone. Not everyone can afford that. I don't have one as well about these photos. Well, once I was testing it and I just enjoyed it for a little while. The 7200mm lens is considered a classic. It's not a must, but highly recommendable to have it. To have it for photos like this one, for example, or for photos like this one. The telephoto lens is quite suitable for snowy days, for foggy weather especially. Try it, if you may. I'm sure you will like it. Yeah, and at the same time, no one said that you can't take a street portrait with a telephoto lens. That's how it might look. Once, I used to be really fond of portraits. Portraits like this one. And like this one. This wouldn't work on 35mm. Wouldn't work on a wider lens as well. Absolutely. There is no background that adds to the story. But the emphasis is not on the background and the story here as street portraits as a completely separate genre. A few more examples how street photography looks via a telephoto lens. It might look like this or like this. In this scenario here, the background is blurred neither too much nor too little. How to achieve it? Don't forget to play around with the aperture. As it came to the aperture, details are to follow quite soon in the upcoming videos. But before that, one more photo. If curious, currently I'm shooting at 55-200 on a crop matrix. As I said, I use it when in mood for that kind of photos exactly. Or second scenario, when I see that the telephoto lens exactly would do the job in the particular situation.